everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on the Mindful Experiment. I'm your host, Dr. Vic, and I'm excited to have you here as we're going to get into something to help you reset the energetic pattern, which is going to help with the neural pattern, to what is creating your life and what you are experiencing in your life. So whether this is for business, for money, for health, for relationships, these are ways you can break the energetic bond and the neurological one to allow you to experience more of what it is you desire. Now, before we get into all that, check out the show notes. We have our program that is coming out. We had to push it back a little bit, but it'll be coming out in March, all about connecting back to source, how to live life through source. What does that look like? What is source? Your soul, the essence of who you are, how to be more aligned with that. And when we are, how more of a fulfilled life we live, and so much more. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. I know we've been talking about it and we've had some hiccups along the way, but we are excited to get it going in March. So for those who've been on the wait list, thank you for waiting for so long. For those who are first time hearing this, check out the link in the show notes to join the wait list. The perk it really gives you is a huge discount on the program compared to those when we start marketing it. And so the difference in pricing is going to be huge, but there's two different parts of the program. There's an online do-it-yourself, and then there's a group coaching session. And so we'll be getting that out and going in March, and I'm excited to get that launched to really share this information and to help to really break away and be more the creator, have deliberate creation, choosing what it is you want to create rather than reacting to other matrix and other things that's creating your life and where you are. So it's in the show notes. Check it out and join our free Facebook group. We're trying to get more interactive with it, and we're growing it right now. And this is going to be one of the leading groups when it comes to consciousness, neuroscience, quantum physics, all that fun stuff, but leading the life that you choose. So check that stuff out. So today's episode is going to be all about how do we break the bond? And what is this bond? And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about sleep. And I'm really getting into the essence of what sleep does and what really is sleep. And then understanding what do we do to keep rerunning a program that doesn't need to run as much as it does, and why we have all these other things that go on. So let's take a step back before I get into the good stuff. So when you go to sleep, you don't try to sleep. You just sleep. Right? You just fall asleep out of nowhere. Like, it's not like you're laying there going, okay, I'm going to go to sleep. Boom, you're sleeping. It doesn't happen. It's a process that's natural, and you just disconnect. But sleep really is similar to dying. Okay? Sleep and dying. You die every night and you're reborn every day. Okay? And there's two ways I'm going to explain this and how that works. One, studying almost, I would say probably at least looking at, I'd say about 500. I was going to say 1,000, but I might be exaggerating. About 500 near-death experiences, and just reading as many as I could of what their experiences in the death process and what happens. And they're like, it's the easiest way we can explain it. It's very similar to going to sleep. You just go to sleep, and then you wake up. And then here you are in a new world. But here's how it relates to death in a few different other ways. Every time you go to sleep, the energetic vibrational frequency that you've been emitting out there cuts off. So you're not attracting anything in that moment anymore. There's no thoughts or emotions or anything like that. Your brain's running through the day, doing what it needs to do. The body's healing and repairing itself of what it needs to do. And so there's no energetic reach out connection and vibe going out into the field. So you cut that off. That's like a death response. So now when you wake up next morning, you have a fresh field to play on. Like, literally nothing it's all new. Here's the mistake most of us, if not all of us, make. We wake up the next morning, same thoughts, same focus, same emotions. We're reacting, our views upon our day. We're looking and going, oh, we have to go to work today, or I have this going on, or your fears come up and the things you've been worrying about, whether it's in a relationship, your health, X, Y, Z. And what you end up doing is perpetuating that cycle more and more. And so the way neuroscience works is there's something called Hebb's law that says nerves that fire together wire together. And what that really means is every time you fire that nerve, the weight of it gets stronger. It becomes a stronger connection or an easier way to fire that pathway. And so imagine days in and days out, months in and months out. You have the same focus, the same thoughts, the same beliefs. You hardwire this into the pattern. Then you wonder 3, 5, 7 years down the road, you're like, I don't know how I got this here. I don't know how this happened. Right? This is when I call it the wake up experience. You become aware. But what happens though is we get lost in this. And this happens in marriages. You hear about marriages 20, 30 years in getting divorces. And there could be a lot of different reasons for that too. But I'm just using it as an example. It can happen in business and life, health, you name it. All this stuff plays a role. But every single day you have the opportunity to change all that. You can literally change your energetic aspect. 99.99% of everything that you experience in your physical world had to come from the non-physical first. I'm going to say it again, 99.99%. So what that means is that you had to energetically be this vibration, this consciousness, this frequency. And you had to be emitting this for quite some time. And you keep putting it out there to give it life. And the more you continue to do that, the more then from law of vibration, you only experience what you vibrate at. And that's how the law of attraction works, because then you're going to like attracts like. And then the law of manifestation is what you're experiencing in your life. So you're vibrating this frequency over and over again, which is going to create more of the experience, whatever that vibration is, wherever you are in your life. And so the key factor then is here is what I wanted to share with you guys in this episode, is how to break that process. Okay. You have a gift every night to start a whole new path for yourself. Every single night you do, because energetically everything is cut off. And so when you wake up in the morning, it's a fresh slate. Joe Dispenza talks about that when you wake up in the morning, your body's still in the past, which it is, because the body follows karma, which is basically accumulation of actions and thoughts and feelings that you've been doing over a period of time to where it leads you today. Your mind, though, can dictate and tell where we're going to go. It doesn't matter. You can create, the beautiful thing about the mind is you can create any story you want and it will believe it. Simple as that. Any story you want, the mind's going to believe it, and it's going to dictate all that. So if you're feeling like crap, you're like, you know what, today's going to be a great day. I don't know how it's going to be a great day. I know it's going to be amazing. There's new things that are going to show up. I have a fresh slate I'm working off, and I know that as long as I keep putting that energy out there, amazing things are going to come, and I'm going to be looking for them because I know they're going to be there, right? Now imagine, feel that vibe, right? Compared to, here we go, another day. Yep, I know I'm going to have to deal with this. Oh, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to have to deal with these customers or this, that, or I'm going to have to do this, or here's my mundane thing. And then I'm going to come home and I have kids to deal with and this and that. There's a difference in that vibe, right? And you can just tell from my tone trying to emphasize on that. So the aspect is, whatever you dictate is what not only you're energetically going to project in the mind, who's just going to accept as is, but also your cells are thinking aspects of them. They're conscious. And so they get affected by vibration. And so when you shift consciousness, it shifts the cells to do that. This is how you can improve your health, just by the way you think and how you feel. I mean, we know this now from a quantum physics perspective. They took neuroscience and quantum physics, and I won't bore with all the details. Maybe I'll do a whole podcast on this, a little longer one, to explain it all. But they found out that they can prove how one thought can totally shift consciousness, affect on any different aspect of the brain, affect any aspect of the body in an instantaneous moment. So when you shift your energy, you shift everything in your body. We're able to prove that now. And so that being said, so you got every night you're resetting. Okay. One of the things I recommend and what I love doing is at night, you just say, hey, tonight I'm going to sleep. I'm going to let go of all the bonds, the energetic creations that were there. I sometimes you can use visualization with like strings attached, and I picture like me cutting the strings. I'm disconnecting from all things. Now tonight my energy is going to reset. I'm going to have a fresh new day tomorrow. I'm going to wake up with a whole new aspect of new possibilities and a whole new thing that waits for me. And so I'm looking forward to just getting my body the rest it needs. I'm so thankful for this body. I appreciate this body and the experiences I had today. And I'm looking forward to the next day of what's going to come. When I wake up in the morning, I get up and say, man, thank you for another day. I'm so grateful for today. I am looking forward to all the amazing possibilities of what's going to be. I know it's going to be a great day. I know it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to be looking out because I already expect to see amazing things. And you let go. And then you get up, you appreciate the day, and you get on with your day. Simple as that. But what you're doing is you're opening the door to saying what may be, what if, rather than, oh, this is what I'm going to expect. Because the thing that I've learned, and it took me a little bit to get this, is from a spiritual perspective, is that all things exist. And when I started to see it from an energetic spiritual aspect, I started to see it also in neuroscience. And that is that all things exist. So if you go to a job you can't stand, there's actually another side to that too. That's actually great. It's just your focus is so much on that negative that you miss out on everything else. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's when I learned this from when I was learning all the spirituality stuff, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I was like, where's the science? I want to know some science. Quantum physics supported it, but I was like, where's the neuroscience? And it's the same thing. That's how you program your brain to focus only on a certain thing. And all it's going to show you is that, and it's going to ignore everything else. This is just like when I'm working with business clients and when I can get them to shift their part of their brain called the reticular activating system to shift and see. And all of a sudden they go, Doc, this stuff was here all along. Like this partnership or this thing here or that there, it was always there. I was like, yeah, you just didn't see it. Or I had this, and I didn't even think about it. So yeah, you just didn't see it because your focus was somewhere else. And so this is how it starts to shift things. And now all of a sudden, every day you're waking up, you're looking for the next thing that's going to raise your vibe. What's the thing that I'm setting the tone for, right? You're the creator of your life. I'm going to set the tone for this vibration. This is what I want to experience. And I know that things are going to show up to help me align that, to make me feel better. That could be something as simple as like you're just listening to the radio and your favorite song comes on that you just love to jam to, right? Or you had a friend that called you out of nowhere and was like, hey, I missed you. I love you. I was just thinking of you. XYZ. It can be in business where all of a sudden, you think of someone that you're like, man, I didn't even think I can probably make a networking referral, whatever, or somebody calls out of nowhere, wants your services or wants to buy a product. I can go on and on. It's endless. And it's amazing how fast sometimes these things turn around. There is a buffering period to these things, so you can't expect it to be like instantaneous. But sometimes it can happen where it's like all of a sudden you shift your energy and later that day, it's like, holy cow, I got the thing I wanted. It can happen, but there's a buffering time. And you just have to keep your energy and your vibe and where you want it to be. Okay. So every night you're given that gift. It is a death process. You're reborn every morning. You are reborn. You're a whole new slate of energy that you get to dictate what you want to project into the world. Now imagine if you did this for a week. Every single morning you're dictating, saying it's an amazing day. It's gonna be awesome, and you feel good about that. And all of a sudden, you imagine you do that for a month. Imagine you do that for 3 months. Let's talk a whole year. What's gonna happen in your life? I'm telling you, it's a game changer. I'm sharing with you one of the things that I do with all my coaching clients. If I can get them to this point to see things in that realm, then all of a sudden they realize they're 30% up in their business. They're 50% up in their business. Hey, Doc, I doubled in 6, 8, 9 months. How the heck did this happen, right? And I'm just talking business. This can happen in relationships. Doc, my relationships are going absolutely amazing. I had one new client, or not a new client, a client was talking to me about how we did this in the business side and money side, broke through, hitting new records that he's ever had before. And then on top of that, he has an amazing relationship, improved drastically, and his health is getting better. And he's like, I'm not doing anything much different. Like I don't. I mean, it's just you're telling me to project, and I'm focusing on a vibe, and I'm just keep expecting that things are going to show up that help me raise that vibe and align with it. And I just really bought into that. And it's hard in the beginning because my mind's used to going and looking at negative. But after I got through and got used to that pattern, I'm able to do it more, and my whole life has changed. So it's that simple, and I'm challenging you to do that. Every night you have a chance to reset. Every morning you have a chance to set the tone for what you want to create. You have to understand that tone and vibration of where you are has a certain frequency. So there's some work we have to do to change that. I really believe that's why in neuroscience, there's an energetic shift that has to happen. You have to create these new connections. And once that connection gets stronger, the tone can raise up higher. I really believe that. I don't know if there is science to that. I mean, there is some quantum physics that supports it a little from it because everyone says you can change your energy instantaneously, which you can, but it'll change everything from there. And I'm like, I agree with that. I've seen some crazy healing things that happen with people just from a shift of energetic vibration, but the body can respond fast. So I always like to say, hey, it can, and believe that it can, and expect it to be. The key is your expectation to it all, right? It's just like when you go on Netflix, you hit a movie and your internet, your internet's solid and good. You hit the button to turn on the TV, you don't expect it not to. When you get the Netflix and you want to choose a certain movie, when you hit play, you don't expect it not to. You expect all these things to happen. I want you to have that same expectation every single day, looking out to saying, this is what's going to happen for you. And what is the great thing that's going to show up for you? Because I promise you it's there. It's always going to be showing up. The thing is, where's your focus and where's your attention at? And how your thoughts are and what you put your energy to and what you focus on, it's just where your vibe's at. And so you got to make sure that you're in alignment with that vibe of source. And for when you're in alignment with source, it is a natural higher vibrational emotion experience like fulfillment and bliss and excitement, enthusiasm, hope, faith, all these different things. Those are emotions that are more in line with your source essence of who you really are. So that's what I got for you today. Short, simple, and sweet. Have fun with it. Check it out. Check out the show notes. Listening to the podcast, subscribe, share a review if you like what you're hearing here, so you can continue to help us get out there and share this message and this movement that we're creating. And as always, I appreciate you for taking the time, and I look forward to talking to you on our next episode.